So we bought that white 78 Chevy for another plow truck. The help drove it home, said it ran all right. I drove it a couple days later, and I knew right away it was either way too lean or there was a serious vacuum leak somewhere. So you'd nail the gas and it'd launch real quick and then just immediately fall on its face. And then after about 4 or 5 seconds, it'd kind of smooth out. And then it just nose back off and ran like ass. So, and I remember the guy said he'd leaned it out. Yeah, he leaned it out all right. You can't get that far out of whack on these calibration charts, people. It just takes you out of that 12, 13 to 1 air-fuel ratio that you're supposed to be in. So when I took the carb apart, this is what I found. For some reason, he bought the 1409. Here's the 1409. There's your calibration chart. I'm going to pause on that for 10 seconds so you guys can snap a pic or something if you need. Here's the info. So stock calibration. So this 1409 marine carburetor came with a 98 jet. It came with a 6847 primary metering needle. Or I should just say metering needle. So anyhow, this guy pulled the 98, skipped the 95, dropped clear on down to a 92 jet. Well, for a 92 jet to maintain the proper air-fuel ratio, you should be running a 65 by 37 metering needle. And I think there was one other 92. Yeah, 6537 or a 6347. Those are the only options for that 92 jet. Well, he pulled the 98, skipped 95, stuck in a 92, and then he stuck in a 73 by 47 metering needle. So to have a 7347 metering needle, you should have at least a size 98 or bigger, clear on up to a 104, I think. Yeah, there's 7347 metering needle on a 104 jet. So he just took this thing right off the damn charts, what he did. I mean, here's your calibration chart. He took us from center on down to, he had us sitting clear down over here somewhere. It just wouldn't even, it'd run, but it wasn't happy, and it'd barely run. It's surging down the road. So you can't get that far out of whack on these, or you'll lose that air-fuel ratio spec that you're supposed to maintain. So I went ahead and put a 95 in. That way I'm only one jet size leaner than stock. And then I had a 65, I think it's that 6552 was the only needle I had. So I went up one jet size and then fattened up from the 63 to the 65. So that shows you how out of whack he was with a 92 jet, and then to stuff in that 7347 metering needle. It was just so lean it couldn't run. So don't get that far out of whack on these charts. Number one's nominal both directions. You can clearly see the literature around it there. So, and I'm going to go through all these pages real quick. There's the literature on the bottom of the page for the 1409. I'm just going to pause on each one of these, so if anybody's having a hard time finding the calibration chart. This is the 1407, 1410. Hopefully that'll help everybody out a little bit if they're having a hard time. This is the 1406. 1406 still. 1405. 1405 on the chart. I think that's the last one. But just do what it tells you to do. Well, you know, down here it tells you numbers in the black are steps obtainable using calibration kit, plus the stock jets and metering needles. Just do what it tells you to do. Every one of these at the very top is your stock calibration. This 1405 came with a main jet that was a 100, and it came with a 7047 metering needle. So, and then there's all your options. You know, you got 100, you want to drop to a 98. 68 by 52 will work good for the metering needle. So, and you can only take a jet size and go like 1 or 2 stages thicker on your primary metering needle. If you go more than 1 or 2 stages on that, well, then you got to do the jet too and go back to a skinnier needle and start over again to maintain that air-fuel ratio that you need to have. So just passing that on. This guy, you know, obviously was smart enough to get into the carburetor, but he wasn't smart enough to research the calibration chart or nothing. And it just, you know, like I said, it did run, but that was about it. And it just fall on its face, man. It was so lean. So he just pushed it too far out of the category there. So just passing that on for anybody else that's struggling. Everybody be safe.